Hey everyone, welcome back to Afterthought FM. Today I thought we would switch over to the Predator franchise, so I started with the original Predator movie from '87. Spoilers ahead, as usual. And this movie, you guys, it's not aged well. It's aged interestingly. The open is like full-blown 80s military testosterone, machismo, giant muscles, giant guns. Misogyny the whole way. Every one-liner is like a little misogyny. There's like impossible handshakes. There's all this biceps are everywhere. It's so weird. So kind of this franchise starts out, I guess, intentionally. I mean, if you really think about it, it seems intentional that it starts as this hyper-masculine action film before it kind of mutates a little bit slowly into a survival horror. It's got a lot of body horror in it too. So the beginning, you have a lot of elite military competence. You have like this exaggerated masculinity. The action hero, these guys are invincible and they have like crazy firepower. And it spends a long time in its setup, sort of getting the audience to understand that these guys can destroy normal human threats. There's like a guerrilla camp assault where there's like CIA agenda stuff. It's effortless for them. They like come through and they like handle it. And so it's like proving to the audience that these guys are like the real deal. And then there's like this major tonal shift when you see these skinned bodies hanging from the jungle, like hanging from the trees, I should say, in the jungle. And it suddenly stops feeling like action and more like, oh, okay, this is like a horror movie. I forgot. And it kind of like, I don't know if it communicates that up front when you see these three bodies. But after a while, it starts to feel like a trophy sort of vibe. Like there's trophy imagery. It's like ritualistic violence because he doesn't just string them up upside down. Like it skins them first, right? And it's very like predator prey. You start to get a sense of the reversal of the roles in that moment. So the jungle kind of ends up transforming from like an action movie playground into like a survival horror environment. It's claustrophobic, even though it's the jungle. It's like pretty big. There's a lot of visibility issues. The atmosphere seems oppressive, and the movie almost even communicates that pretty effortlessly. I got to hand it to them. Everyone's wet all the time, sweaty, just nonstop sweaty. I can't even imagine running through. I can't. I don't know what they're dealing with. But I mean, overall, they're just isolated in a very hostile environment. How do you get through the jungle, especially when this is going on? So there's this moment where there's this iconic reveal. Before you see the actual creature, the predator, you get this iconic look through its thermal vision, and there's like clicking sounds. And immediately you're like, oh, it's intelligent. Oops, like that's we don't like that. That's not good. Although we kind of do like that because they were so misogynistic in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I can't wait for these guys to get got. Like, they have to go. They had to go. We don't miss them. I don't miss them. I don't know how you feel, but I don't. Okay, so anyway, we get this really cool thermal vision point of view. Now, when we notice humans or any living creature are reduced to heat signatures through this vision. And again, you get the clicking, and I think that's probably supposed to be the communication or the language. It just feels very strategic overall with this thermal vision. And I think like that also starts alluding to one of the coolest things I think about the Predator franchise is that this creature has rules. You may not agree with all the rules, but it has rules. It includes selective hunting. There's like a code of honor. It's very ritualized combat, as I mentioned before, like, the whole trophy situation, warrior culture vibes. And I like that, you know, we did kind of transition from Alien. If you listen to my Alien series, that's very much like feed, reproduce, repeat the cycle. It's an intelligent creature, that xenomorph, but the Predator is more about like the trophy, just trophy hunting. And I think that's kind of cool. Anyway. Okay, so the movie slowly strips away the team's like macho confidence. I'm for it. I kind of love that. You know, you got panic instead of bravado. Oh my gosh, there was this line. There was this really big guy who I hated probably more than the rest. And he's like, "I ain't got time to bleed," and then all of a sudden, like, dead. I'm like, yeah, that's great. I love that. But I know that that's supposed to communicate that like if that guy can get got, then, you know, the rest of our guys are pretty much fucked. So we move into desperation disguised as confidence. The team is realizing something is hunting them, and their first instinct, I mean, aside from figuring out what is going on, but their first instinct is immediately deciding to hunt it back. It's such a funny, like, that's just so campy to me. What do you mean? You were clearly outgunned. Whatever. It's like a wounded pride thing, you know? It's like panic disguised as aggression, I think. It's just like running around shooting in the jungle. Like, I don't know. And they find this woman in the jungle, and her name is Anna. And she's kind of like, I think she's the only characters who immediately understands the jungle is currently a horror space. She's like, we hate this. She's got local folklore going on. She's very cautious. She's terrified. It contrasts with military arrogance. She calls it like a demon, like it, you know, she frames it that way. She's like comprehending already. She's like, we don't want this. And the military guys are like, we do though. And she's like, okay, great. Well, I'm stuck with you guys. It's that poor thing. And they're so mean to her. Ugh. I couldn't wait for them to start dying. Anyway, so we get to this mud scene. Okay, we get to Dutch is like ends up in the water. You know, these guys are slowly dying. Dutch ends up in the water, and he comes out covered in mud, and that scene kind of reframes the whole movie, because you start realizing, oh, the thermal vision has weaknesses. That mud cooled his temperature. I don't know if someone fact check that. Okay, I don't know. I don't know the science. If that wouldn't be actually a thing, then you let me know. But anyway, so in the movie, it wants us to believe the thermal vision has the weakness. The mud cooled his body temp down enough. And it was sort of an accidental discovery. He just like popped out muddy, you know, and he hid under a tree, and like the predator was like, oh, I guess I lost him. And it's like he starts resorting immediately to primitive survival tactics. He immediately goes caveman. He abandons the whole military thing, and you're like, well, okay. He has accepted the jungle. The jungle has accepted him. He has accepted the jungle. It's going to be fine. So by the final act, Dutch transforms from like this elite soldier into kind of like I'm not going to say matched, but another primal hunter. Like, you know, he starts setting traps. He starts adapting to his environment. He's got this like caveman Batman energy. It's so funny. Anyway, I mean, you got sticks and whatever. So the predator does get a hold of him, though. Despite all this Dutch caveman nonsense, the predator gets a hold of him. And instead of killing him, because Dutch was unarmed in this moment, he immediately releases him and reveals, like, I think at a deeper level, that this hunting really, really is ritualized. It's like this has to be honorable combat. There has to be a worthy opponent. Like there's rules. We got to keep going back to rules about this. And so when Dutch finally does use his environment to sort of like outwit or outmatch the predator, and the predator is like, you know, laying under this big ass tree and he's bleeding out, he starts clicking buttons. And then he starts laughing. This thing starts laughing, the most unhinged, maniacal laughter. And Dutch takes too long to figure out that's a bomb. It's beeping. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. I think Dutch was in his little caveman moment for too long. But the laughter was unsettling, and Dutch didn't run nearly soon enough. Anyway, so, you know, the predator explodes laughing, which is crazy. And And I think it's kind of cool that the movie does not end with military triumph. It ends with kind of traumatized survival. Dutch gets to the helicopter exhausted. Anna at some point already did run to the helicopter. Or I'm sorry. They got to the chopper. As Arnold would say, they got to the chopper. Everyone's exhausted. The military dominance has failed. The adaptation was the key to their survival. The whole thing. It's really, it kind of wraps it up in a neat little bow. It ends the opposite way that it began. And I kind of love that. I'm here for that. Anyway, my point is it's like an anti-action movie by the end of it. Dismantles the fantasy of invisibility. Once it becomes a survival horror, it kind of works. I love it. The creature design is cool. The rules are cool. I think everything except for the idiots holds up really well. I think that's kind of cool. Anyway, all right, so that was fun. That's enough of me talking about this. I got to get into Predator 2 soon. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next episode.